Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand and join with me with a salute to our flag and country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And remain standing for our prayer, please.
Almighty God, we give you thanks for the new year in this historic city of Guthrie. May the lessons we have learned from our past shape and guide our future so that we may serve you and our neighbors with increasing wisdom and compassion. We ask for your care and protection over all those who are cold, whether they be people without shelter or animals without care. May we find ways to extend warmth, kindness, and resources to all who are vulnerable. Grant all participating in this meeting tonight wisdom and patience as they make decisions for the good of this community. May their efforts foster justice, equity, and peace throughout Guthrie. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Richardson. So I call to order our City of Guthrie City Council meeting of January 21st, 2025. Second item on the agenda is public comments, community announcements, or recognitions. Do we have anything? Jesse, did anything given to you? We have none. Third item on the agenda is consent agenda items A through G. H has been pulled for future discussion, so it's A through G. A is the approval of the City Council minutes of December 17th. B is the approval of a joint use agreement between the Logan County Soccer Club and the Guthrie Public Schools. C is the approval of payment of $21,375 to GH2 Architects for services at Highland Park Municipal Pool. D is the approval of payment of $6,000 to Myers Engineering for services for the east and west side water storage tank project. E is the approval of payment of $6,113.60 to Myers Engineering for west side booster pump station replacement. F is the approval of a payment of $24,585.05 to Myers Engineering for ADA accessible intersections. G is the approval of $63,312.60 to True North Contracting for Owens Field softball facility expansion. And again, item H has been delayed till next meeting. So I will entertain a motion to approve consent agenda items A through G.
Mr. Mayor.
Question, yes.
B, the soccer field, what's changed there? What's this agreement about?
It's an annual, isn't it an annual agreement?
It is. It's an annual agreement. The only difference from what you've seen previously, this is a joint use agreement instead of a sublease. So the school's attorney requested that this be labeled a joint use agreement. The terms have been agreed to by all parties, and we recommend approval.
Okay, thank you. I'm just curious.
Okay, I guess
I move approval of the consent agenda items A through G.
we have a motion
Second.
and a second. Is there any other discussion or dialogue? Okay, submit your votes, please.
All votes are in.
Let's see the votes. Unanimous approval from those present then to approve consent agenda items A through G. Item number 4, items removed from consent agenda. There were none. Item number 5, amendment number 8 to the agreement with Park Hill Engineering. Caden, want to speak to that, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Council, thank you. I got myself out of order there for a second. The amendment before you in this item and the next, if approved, will be included as amendments to the 5-year owner-engineer agreement with Park Hill. Amendment number 8 is for the construction of the parallel taxiway and lighting project. Council approved the amendment for this design last year. The construction cost for this project totals $560,000, but the City of Guthrie will be reimbursed for $532,000 or 95% of this total project cost. This amendment in particular will leave the City of Guthrie with the cost of $28,000. Just as a recap of what we are getting with this project, over 4,000 feet of our existing taxiway will be removed and replaced with new concrete pavement that meets federal and state standards. The bid for this project is well under the budgeted estimate, so we will get to include the taxiway edge lighting. Those are the blue taxiway edge lights that will be included along the entire portion of the taxiway. And this project will also include a new lighted wind cone and segmented circle. The airport board approved this contract unanimously, and we are looking forward to getting started over the next few months once context crews become available and we get out of these low temperatures. Thanks.
So is the 28,000 our portion, or is that split between us and Edmond?
That is the city of Guthrie's portion
And
per
it's our
this
portion.
amendment.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
I move approval of amendment number 8 to the owner engineering agreement with Park Hill Engineering.
Have a motion and a second. Any other dialogue? Submit your votes, please.
All votes are in?
See the votes. Unanimous approval from those present then to approve amendment number 8 with the Park Hill Engineering for the reconstruction of parallel taxiways and lighting project. Item number 6, amendment number 9 with owner engineer, with Park Hill Engineering for survey and design of airport fencing.
Yes, I want to thank Councilwoman Mills for pointing out an error on the cover letter. The motion tonight will be to approve amendment number 9. This amendment will cover the survey and design for perimeter fencing along the east side of the airport. This is a project that has been discussed for many years and is of the utmost importance for our pilot community at the airport. I do want to explain where the monies for this project came from. We received $295,000 in airport infrastructure grant or AIG dollars in 2022, which will expire in this fiscal year. The reason we have not committed these funds is because we knew that we had some major upcoming projects such as the terminal and taxiway project, a realignment project. So we didn't want to commit these funds, but since they are expiring this year, we are hoping to use $92,500 for the design, survey and design of the fence, and then we will use the remaining portion to construct as much fence as possible. And this was approved unanimously by the airport board.
Questions?
Caden, do you have any idea when this project might start potentially?
So the surveys will take a while. They're actually going to use drones to conduct a large portion of the surveys. We don't have good surveys on that side of the airport. It's an area that really hasn't been developed before. But one good thing about this project is that once we get the design fully complete on the east side, we're going to be able to construct with the remaining AIG funds as much fence as possible, which will really break up the deer traffic because we know that they're coming from the east side and crossing the runway.
Okay, thank you.
Will this run to the road?
Our goal is if we can construct enough, we're going to construct as much as we can with the
Yeah, because you know they'll come
constraints.
around the end.
But-
They're pretty smart.
Yeah, we are hoping to move it over to Prairie Grove. We're not fully fenced from Prairie Grove over to the full west side of the airport, but we will move traps south, and we'll be able to create more containment.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
I would add that I was stopped in the grocery store the other morning by a very excited Dr. Golite about that fence. perimeter fence.
She liked it.
Yes, well, we have a board member on the airport board whose plane struck a deer, and they've totaled the airplane now. Wow. So, yeah, this is a big deal.
Okay,
And I did want to mention as well, we would have done the survey and design the reason we didn't do a survey and design for the complete airport fence is because our hope is to acquire property along the southwest portion of the airport. So we didn't want to acquire this property and then have to go back and do more survey work. So the plan that we have in place is going to allow us to construct as much fence as possible with spending as little on design as possible.
very good. Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Your Honor, I move approval of amendment number 9 to the owner engineering agreement for the survey and design of airport fencing. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any last minute questions? Submit your votes, please.
All votes are in?
See the votes. Unanimous approval from those present then to approve amendment number 9 with Park Hill Engineering for the survey and design of airport fencing, of the airport fencing project. Item number 7 on our agenda, change order number 1 with G&L tank sandblasting and coating for part of our tanks, our storage tanks.
Yes,
Kenny?
Mayor, Council. Change order one's going to increase our original contract by $24,000. What this increase will do, it'll allow our contractor to paint a Blue Jay emblem logo beside the Guthrie logo on two sides of both of our tanks. Original contract price was $679,625. This will increase it to $703,625.
Questions of Mr. Maker? It's always good to have Blue Jay above our city, right?
Yep.
Yes, very good. I'll entertain a motion.
Move approval of change order number one with G&L tank sandblasting and coating in the amount of $24,000.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes, please.
All votes are in?
See the votes. Unanimous approval from all those present then to approve change order number one with G&L tank and sandblasting for our emblem on the storage water tank. Item number 8, change order number 2 with G&L tank and sandblasting.
Yes, again, Mayor, Council, first I apologize for not having both of these on the same. There was some timing here that kind of didn't work out. Change order 2 will increase the original contract by 41 calendar days. The extension of these days was due to our water pressure issues that we had at our west booster station, resulting in a delayed start time for the contractors. Based off of the contract, this project will be completed March 24th now of 2025.
Questions?
Your Honor, I move approval of change order number two with G&L tank sandblasting and coating.
I'll second
I have a
that.
motion and a second. Any last thoughts? Submit your votes, please.
All votes are in?
See the votes. Unanimous approval of change order number 2 with G&L tank sandblasting, extending the days 41 calendar days for that particular project. Agenda item number 9, accept all water, sewer, and paving improvements and public right-of-ways with Guthrie Farms subdivision Phase 2. Dan?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is, as indicated, Guthrie Farms subdivision Phase 2. This is the subdivision off of South Pine and near the University Avenue right-of-way. This is for Phase 2, which consisted of 96 lots. The council had approved the final plat for Phase 2 in April of last year, and they have recently got all of the water, sewer, and streets all completed. Public Works had inspected them all along, and everything is good to go at this point. So yeah, the approval would accept all improvements and also the rights of way, which will become public streets.
Okay, any questions of Dan?
Are they gonna have that other way to get in and out of there, what they're talking about? I mean,
Possibly in a later,
Later one.
later one,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it might be the next phase.
Next week, okay.
Yeah.
That's all that's.
Yeah, because this phase will be about 51% of the total lots. It's right at 199, and there's a total of 388.
It looks nice out there.
Yeah.
You're the developer, right? It looks great. I appreciate it.
So how many phases will there be to this project?
Yeah, probably 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so
I move
Motion?
approval of acceptance of water, sewer, and paving improvements in public right-of-way for Guthrie Farms Division Phase 2.
Second.
have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes, please.
All votes are in?
See the votes, unanimous approval from all those present then to accept all the water, sewer, and paving improvements from Guthrie Farms subdivision Phase 2. Item number 10 on our agenda, accept all water, sewer, and paving improvement in public right-of-way for Hillcrest Farms subdivision.
A lot of
You're
farms.
on a roll.
This is the subdivision that's on North Pine, right there at the intersection of North Pine and Hillcrest Avenue. This is just the one, if you want to say phase, it's a total of 60 lots. And recently, they finally completed all the paving, water improvements, and all of that was inspected by city staff. So as just with the previous one, approval would accept all water, sewer and paving improvements as well as public rights of way.
Okay, any questions, Dan? Entertain a motion.
Acceptance of water, sewer, and paving improvements in public right-of-way for Hillcrest Farms subdivision.
Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from all those present then to accept water, sewer, paving improvements and public right-of-way for Hillcrest Farms subdivision. Item number 11, ordinance number 3418, request to rezone property located at 1016 West Warner Avenue. Dan?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This property is on the west side, as indicated at 1016 West Warner. It's currently the location for the Stone Lion Inn. The property owner is looking to rezone to R2 because they are wanting to put an accessory dwelling unit, and as it currently sits as R1, that wouldn't be allowed. But obviously with the R2, then they would be able to add the additional dwelling unit. The Planning Commission had recommended approval 3-0 for the rezone, and staff did not receive any written, or there was no objections even at the Planning Commission regarding this item.
Okay, all right. And just for our audience, Mr. Gary, Vice Mayor Gary is recusing himself because he is owner of this property.
That's correct.
Is there any discussion, questions, Dan?
I have 10 hard questions. Is the applicant present first? No. No, I don't know.
Okay, all right. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion. We accept ordinance number 3418, request to rezone.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Last minute discussion. Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
Let's see the votes. Unanimous approval from those present and eligible to vote to approve ordinance number 3418, rezoning of property at 1016 West Warner from R1 to R2. Item number 12, acceptance of Main Street Incentive Program Grant Award. Shonda?
Yes, thank you. You all have the majority of the documents that include all of the information on the project, but I wanted to run through quickly just what the process would look like. So we were granted a 50-50 grant with the Oklahoma Department of Commerce through the Main Street Incentive Grant Program. And the project that we came up with is to do a pocket park on the corner of Wentz and Oklahoma, right next to the shops. So about 2 years ago, I came before y'all and presented this project, and it's been a fun one so far. But what we've discovered since that project got started is that the adjacent parking lot has been utilized pretty regularly for downtown events, and it gets closed down pretty regularly, at least weekly, whenever the downtown market is happening. So the way the funding is set up, we have about $25,000. Oklahoma Department of Commerce has about $25,000 for a total of $50,000 for the entire project total. As you can see, the parking lot is in kind of rough shape. It's cracking, it's discolored, it's kind of uneven throughout the lot, so it makes it kind of difficult for the regular events that happen there. All of the vendors that set up their tables and their tents and their chairs are always kind of uneven, and it's just unsightly compared to the surrounding buildings, and the shops and everything else looks pretty nice in that area. So the concept is down in the bottom corner there. You can see we have planned for some gravel walks, an activity lawn, trees, benches, some other amenities. So that's kind of the overall goal of what the project would end up looking like. Pocket parks are very beneficial for downtown communities, especially when they're already surrounded by pavement and parking and buildings and everything else. It's nice to have small green spaces, especially whenever you have a town like ours that has so many regular events that would be able to benefit from this area, and it would be beneficial to the shops as well. So that's the overall concept, and I will take any questions if you have any.
Are you going to have like any I mean, I love this. Are we ever going to have like 3D renderings and stuff at some point? or-
I could definitely come up with some to give to y'all if that's something that you would like to see.
Yeah, it would make no bearing on me accepting this or not. I just
Yeah.
just excited to see what.
Yeah,
they do.
yeah, and I worked with Myers Engineering to get us a basic concept, because the turnaround for the application was pretty quick, so I got Myers Engineering to give us a cost estimate and just a simple rendering to get the application in, but I can get 3D renderings made up before
Yeah.
we move forward.
Or whatever they have, I'm sure is fine.
Yeah.
Just to see. That'd
So
be
the
fun.
grant amount is 25 or 50?
The grant amount is 25, our
25.
matching is 25
So
as well,
we're
the total
matching-
project is 50.
We're matching total project cost of 50,000. Well, I mean, we've got great success with the shops. This will be a continuing success.
I hope so.
I believe that.
I was just thinking that this area will cause a cooling effect for that. I mean, I'm sure you studied that enough. A cooling effect for that corner. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yep.
And we already, I know Dan's been working to get some more trees added into that area. We also have the sidewalk improvements planned for that intersection, so it just feels like the perfect time to do some more amenities in that area and make it a little bit more beautiful, a little bit more accessible, so.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll work on our street deal and we'll put some money into that street. It stinks. It's
Well,
bad.
We're making improvements every day. Every day.
great idea and great leverage of the city's
Sorry,
money.
Tenny.
Doubling the city's investment in that. That's great. in my
Make a-
mind.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to make a motion to approve.
So Shonda, just to clarify, like, this will actually enhance the ability of vendors to be able to come in and use that space. Like, it'll still be able to serve that purpose, and it will be better serving that purpose.
Yes, so my goal is to maximize the space. I want it to be a viable community space and green space, but I don't want it to affect the market's ability to have, 20 to 30 vendors in there. So I'm gonna make sure that the final design is beneficial for the community and for events that might wanna use it as a community event space as well.
Great,
So.
thank you.
Yeah. A little green space, a little success space,
A little
a
bit.
lot of success space, I should say. Okay, very good. Any other questions? We do have a
Happy birthday.
motion.
There's been a motion made by Mayor-elect Ropp. I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes, please.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from all those present then to approve the acceptance of Main Street Incentive Program grant award for a $25,000 grant. Total project cost $50,000. Another success story. Thank you,
y'all.
Shonda.
Thank you.
Item number 12, City Manager Report.
Yes, Mayor and Council, we've started 2025, hit the ground running. As you can tell, we've got this Main Street grant where we take $1 and we turn it into $2. We do that all the time. So proud of the staff. Thank you, Shonda, for your hard work on that. Quick recap, a few things that have taken place lately. If you weren't able to attend the State of the City, please take the opportunity to go and view that on our YouTube, as well as on our social media pages. Myself and the mayor spoke and gave an update on all things Guthrie. Well attended, about 60 folks came out and were able to hear the address. So want to thank the Chamber for hosting, Oklahoma Natural Gas for sponsoring, Meridian Tech, of course, for hosting as well. And then if you enjoyed the PowerPoint presentation, I want to brag on Shonda's skills, her marketing skills. When it comes to those graphics and the presentation, that design, all of that is Shonda. Shonda makes that presentation pop. So I go in, I say, here's what this needs to look like. Thank you. And that's, we come back to the final design. So in addition to the State of the City last week, we also welcomed the Citizens Police Academy. This is a revival of the Police Academy, the Citizens Police Academy. Detective Vasquez and the team are working hard on that. Have approximately 15 participants. Had some good questions. Was glad to see the engagement and the involvement. Look forward to seeing that program grow. As you heard earlier, and as you're aware, the East Side Water Tower repair and painting project, GNL is on site as of last week. We have drained the tank, and we're preparing for sandblasting and some spot welding. So we will have, just so you know, we will have some future change orders to make repairs as necessary. want to emphasize, we're not just painting the tanks. This is not an aesthetic project. When you sandblast the tank and you go in, you inspect it, check for any welding that needs to be done. We've got, I believe, a vent cap that needs to be replaced on the east side. All of those repairs we intend to make while we're there. So it's not just, hey, we decided we would go paint the water towers. This is a result of CIP number 2, the Growing Guthrie project. So this isn't just something that we came up with overnight. I want to drive that point home. We will be watching the water system really closely. We'll never take both tanks off at the same time. The east side being offline right now, we do encourage residents to conserve water as possible, when possible. And if you experience any pressure loss, have any issues, please let us know right away. We're doing work that hasn't been done before. We're also with a team that hasn't done it here before. So as we work through that, there are going to be some hiccups. But we have communicated to the community that if you have an issue, please let us know right away so that we can correct that. Lift station number 4, the retrofit project, which is the lift station over near Cotterill School. The project is complete. That was a partnership between the city and the school district, so we will be closing that project out soon. Update on Land Water Conservation Fund project Owen Field. We are awaiting direction from OTRD on next steps. If you'll recall, we came back in October and asked to amend the project scope, go from $1 million in match to $2.3 million in match. OTRD has reassured us that we should be successful in that amendment request, hoping to know something by the end of the month. Tenny and I spoke this morning. We are aware that spring sports will be coming up relatively soon, and we need to have a game plan for, we've got to have entry, we've got to have parking, all of that we had hoped to have had in place by now, but due to the bids coming in well over budget, obviously we're not there yet. So we are working on that. I will also remind you that we're exploring construction management for this project. With the bids coming in as high as they were, breaking those bid packages out is going to be crucial to our success. We don't need a bid for a 1,500 square foot concession building to come in substantially high. I'm not even going to say how much it was. It was that high. You rejected the bid, so you've seen them, but we can't do that. We won't be doing a project like that. So when we bring it back to you and we've got our amended request, want to be sure that we're successful in going forward. Also want to give you a quick update on the Zoning Code Committee. Zoning Code Committee plans to meet 2 to 3 more times for final revisions and review. Made good progress on that. Again, shout out to Dan and the team. Updating the zoning code is something that hasn't taken place in a long time. So we look forward to that. We do anticipate an adoption hearing in April. So the intent is to have that done before the end of April. You should have received an email from Jessica about RSVPing for the chamber banquet that will be held on February 6th at 6:30 p.m. at Meridian Tech. If you intend to go, please let us know by the end of the week so that we can get that RSVP in. If you have already communicated with us, there's no need to take any further action. And with that, Mayor, that's all I've got.
Okay, thank you. Item number 14, comments from City Council. Vice Mayor Geary.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Okay, Councilwoman Mills.
Nothing tonight, thank you, Mayor.
Okay, Councilman Robb.
What's going on in town this January? Anybody know? Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. What's going on? Anybody?
What?
I guess I need to get on Real Talk Around Guthrie or something. The holidays are over. Is there any events going on?
Let me direct you to YouTube.
I know, right? Justin, what is going on this month?
The library has events going on as usual.
Green Cross Nationals are at Lazy E this Friday night. That's a big event.
Nice.
We'll see some of those Green Cross folks in town.
They'll be at the depot, I'm sure, at the steakhouse.
IFR last weekend, MLK Day Parade was Monday.
Yeah.
So there's quite a bit. It is slowing down, we'll say that. So Not a ton, not like what we're used to.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We have so much. No, nothing for me as far as comments.
Councilman Taylor?
Thank you. I appreciate that, Shonda. You're doing a great job on that. Matter of fact, all the staff does something great all the time. You guys are, I mean, I hear people down at the Capitol talk about it all the time. So they like what's going on up here, and they said they're going to try to come up and start doing things, which is good. I'm glad they're doing it. Other than that, stay warm, because it's still going to be cold tonight, and I think maybe tomorrow night. So other than that, that's it.
Councilman Williams?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay, just a couple comments. Again, if you are interested, you in the viewing public are interested in looking at previous city council meetings, you can go to YouTube for that. You can go to see our city manager's podcasts on YouTube, as well as the state of the city. And just really, really good information that's available on YouTube just by going there. And you can start at actually going to the City of Guthrie website as a starting point. But to get the information, get a flavor for all of the things that are going on at our community, in our community all the time. And so just use that as a resource if you're inquisitive about something that's been going on. We did have the Martin Luther King celebration, and appreciate everybody who came out and participated in that, especially those that walked the distance. I did not. I was in the warmth of the car for most of it. But I will tell you that. Even though I'm from Minnesota, I left all my warm clothes back in Minnesota. But anyway, had a really, really nice program and a celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King's life and mission and message. And a special thanks this time of year, especially when it gets so cold, to police and to fire and to our parks and street crew. I mean, they do a magnificent job all year round, but when the temperatures, the environment is challenging, like it is cold, and thank goodness that we haven't had any water breaks, but they are always out there. They're out there. They're out there protecting us. They're out there serving us and keeping our streets clean and salted and responding to EMS and to fire calls. And it's a challenging time. So be especially thankful, I think, that we've got such a great team that responds to the community and to our citizens all the time, regardless of weather. So thank you so much for what you all do. Last thoughts?
Amen.
With that, I will adjourn our city council meeting. However, we have more. And I will open our City Public Works Authority meeting of January 21st. Second item on the agenda is consent agenda items A through G.
Your Honor, I move approval of the consent agenda as posted and waive the reading of the consent agenda, and note that it is true and correct as posted.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second.
Save you some reading
You
time
did-
there.
Yep, I'm trying to move this along.
You don't have to read the whole thing.
I will appreciate that. Any discussion at all? Okay, submit your votes, please.
All votes are in.
See the votes. The unanimous from all those available to approve consent agenda items A through D as submitted and published.
A through G.
A through G, is that?
A through, you said D.
Oh, I'm sorry. A
through
through G as published and submitted. Item number 3, items removed from consent agenda. There were none. Item number 4 is request to solicit bids for sewer line replacement. Tenny?
Yes, Mayor, Council, sewer line that we're talking about is an 8-inch clay tile line that has numerous cracks with several spots that have failed and is considered to be critical on our list of sewer lines. We have had set up several bypasses here recently over the process, as well as getting our jetter nozzle and line stuck in this line where it's been collapsed. This line will be pipe bursted and replaced with an 8-inch poly line. The funding for this sewer line replacement project will be through our CMOM funds. Budget estimate for this project is $83,117. It will replace approximately 111 feet along with 2 manholes.
Okay, and this is just a request to go out and solicit bids for that 111 feet.
Yes, Mayor, this is just to go out and get
Take that
solicited.
next step. Questions? Anybody? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. Last minute thoughts? Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from all those present then. To move forward, we're requesting to solicit bids for sewer line replacement, approximately 111 feet on Noble Heights. That being the last item on our agenda for the Public Works Authority meeting, we are adjourned. However,
Oh, we do.
we have one more. I'd like to open our special City of Guthrie Economic Development Authority meeting of January 21st, 2025. Second item is public comments. We have not received any public comments or announcements or recognitions. Third item on our agenda is consent agenda items A and B.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of consent agenda items A and B as published.
I'll second
Waive
that.
reading.
That was going to be an easy one for me.
Yeah,
But I will accept that
passes
motion. It
bedtime.
has been seconded. Is there any questions at all? Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
Let's see the votes. Unanimous from all those present then to approve consent agenda items A and B as submitted and posted. That being the last item on our agenda for the special City of Guthrie Economic Development Council meeting, we are adjourned and we have no more. Thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen.